Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, wa salatu wassalamu ala Rasul Kareem, Assalamu alaikum. So, a couple of people in my circle have been asking me, I think for the past 2-3 years especially, to sort of guide them or point them to the right direction when it comes to Islamic spirituality and their growth and their coming closer to Islam. And alhamdulillah, I'm so proud of many of them, all from various different backgrounds. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has put the spark in their heart to come. And alhamdulillah, when questions are there, I try to answer as best I can. But I was thinking about a system towards organizing this in a simplified way. Because many a times when it comes to, I want to say, formal Islamic spirituality, like following a silsila or a sheikh or that type of transformation, or even if it comes to studying Islamic knowledge and studying with a scholar and going through books and all of that, there's sort of a barrier to entry. So the average Muslim that doesn't have access to such people or doesn't have the concept or background to connect to such people and benefit from them misses the great opportunity to grow in an amazing way with the blessing of the tradition. So yeah, I have been thinking for a while of how would one organize this, or what are some universals that would be important for a seeker as they're beginning this journey towards Allah and towards a deeper sense of faith and light and immersion in love of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So I came up with or the things that keep popping up regardless of which scholar you're following or which path you're following or all that is number one, there is a core set of concepts of ilm that Islamic spirituality entails. For example, learning about the purpose of spirituality, different types of opening, different types of maqam, different stages when you're growing closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, how to manage or maintain your different practices, different scholarly advices for different people's situations. So all of this is you could say, a knowledge base of spirituality and how this other dimension works. Sort of like when we were doing our medical and dental studies. So when you study physiology and you go into, for example, biochemistry in the cell, and then physiology in the organ, and then later on how that interacts with the anatomy of the body. So we were studying all of those different subjects to try to understand this world within our body. And so similarly, the spirit is its own realm, has its own realm, and there is a full study about Islamic spirituality and how we unlock this great gift and embrace this path that we get ultimate success. So there is that body, and this could include not only the lessons, inshallah, that I hope Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives me tawfiq to spread, but also includes classical works of Islamic spirituality like those of Abdul Qadir al-Jilani rahimahullah, or Imam al-Ghazali rahimahullah, or Ibn Qayyim rahimahullah, or Rumi rahimahullah, and many others. The list goes on and on of great awliya, great friends of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and how they outlined the path towards getting closer to Him and embracing our love of Him and gaining His love. So that's the, I would say, foundation of ilm, and that's something that we have to keep growing on. But there are fundamentals that once we understand, then we can more easily operate when it comes to developing our Islamic spirituality. Our next category, which is very important and is the heart of this whole matter, is suhbah. Suhbah means companionship. So as all the scholars mention, and I think Maulana Rumi has a very beautiful quote of like, one moment with a realized friend of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, a real lover of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, is better than 1,000 units of worship. And the concept here is that person, when he reaches such a high level of iman and is operating in that and is close to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, it's contagious. So as you interact more with such people and pray to Allah to get the company of the greatest of such people, those are people that are close to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and are close to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and they have a different energy. If I use financial means, it's the difference between talking to someone about, let's say someone is worth $100,000 or so, and we're talking at his level about business and all that. And now a millionaire comes. Excuse me. So the millionaire is going to talk in a different level, or he has, for him, an amount that may be heavy for the previous person who would be there. And now, even if there's a room full of millionaires giving their own advice on how they made it or how to do business and all that, when a billionaire walks in, someone that has $1,000 million net worth or plus, right? Now the conversation is different. The billionaire is operating at a higher level. I used to watch Shark Tank sometimes, the US version. I think there's a version for in Asia and Pakistan and other places as well. And one of the regular persons or people that used to be there was Mark Cuban. So sometimes the other people that have net worths of 10 million, 50 million, 100 million, etc., would do their offers. But if Mark really wanted something, sometimes he'd be like, here's, I remember one deal, he was like, oh, here's $500,000, and you guys need to teach my daughter all of this too. So that's the condition. So he's thinking about his children as well. So meaning he was operating at a different level. And so in this spirituality, suhbah is very important. And the company doesn't require that you're just learning knowledge or just doing some practice. Sometimes just sitting in their company, even when I had to be with my sheikh. Sometimes we'd go grocery shopping or something else, but I was healing inside. There was things activating inside. I was actually growing as a person. The light inside me was being kindled by the presence of such a person. And this is a great blessing, and this is something we should seek. So first is the knowledge or the concepts, clarifying the concepts. And then second is the heart of the matter, which is suhbah, that we have to seek with realized people. And there's levels of this. Sometimes I'll sit with someone who's not necessarily a sheikh, and even, like I'm not a sheikh. But when I spend time with people that have spent years with the sheikh, there's so many blessings in that as well. And sometimes people are hidden, they're close to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, but it's not like they have students or are teaching some Islamic knowledge or anything else like that. So there are hidden people with very high maqam, high positions in Allah's eyes. So once you got the concepts down, and we're going to work on that, and then you're also, the main concept for today or of this pyramid is also that the heart of the matter is with suhbah, right? And even the Sahaba, if they just saw Rasulullah once with a believing heart and died on that path, they are at a higher level than even the greatest of human beings that come after that generation. Even if someone was born and never sinned and prayed all night and fasted all day and did amazing things, and we've had scholars like that were just don't have a spot in their book of deeds. That's how amazing they were. But even then, they don't compare to the great maqam that the Sahaba got. Why? Because they had suhbah of the Prophet ﷺ. That's the power of suhbah. So the last piece of the puzzle of this pyramid, and it's very important as well. It's a main heart, you could say, where you get the fruit of this work is through practice, through amal. So having a regular practice of dhikr, of your prayer, of your litanies, whether that be morning or evening or so, and guiding a sheikh, getting guidance with the sheikh, what to do when. And as you grow over the years, over the months and years, the practice will intensify and you'll get closer and closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So these three things are essential ilm and concepts of the spiritual path. The suhbah and having right people to guide you and keeping their company and gaining from their lights and getting purified by that, and then having a regular practice that you develop, starting small and then growing bigger and bigger and bigger in your practice, inshallah. So that'll be the first lesson for the day, and for what I hope to be a helpful outline for those seeking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and this noble path. Jazakallah khair. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.